He was taken to a hospital and was pronounced.
Yo, what? He got electrocuted? What? For what? How'd you get electrocuted from running on the treadmill? Yo, what's up YouTube? In today's video, we're watching the most brutal gym deaths. Anyways, this looks like it'll be a good reaction, so let's get straight into it.
These are the most brutal gym deaths to avoid while working out. Number 1. These are the most brutal gym deaths to avoid while working out. Number 1. A man was running on a treadmill.
Oh, I can't imagine, like, I feel bad. I feel like I'm gonna feel bad for some of these people, innit? Because imagine you're going to the gym to improve yourself, to look better. You get me? Let me adjust that for you guys so you can see me better. Imagine you're going to gym so you can look better, you can improve yourself, and then, you don't even know it's your last day.
Treadmill in a local gym in India, Saraswati Vihar. He was doing his cardio for the day when he started feeling dizzy and lightheaded. So he stopped running and all of a sudden he collapsed and started convulsing.
No, you know what? Genuinely, that is my worst fear. You ever see them videos where people, they're full of the treadmill, then they get like a body part or piece of clothing like sucked under, bro. You know how it comes around and the treadmill comes around. Have you seen where? Oh, now that's genuinely my worst fear. Like my worst fear is like falling over on the treadmill and getting like actually scraped up by like getting caught in the bottom of it. Oh my god, I feel bad for this guy.
2 other gym goers checked up on him and alerted emergency services. Medics arrived and brought him to the hospital, but sadly, he was already dead. His name was Siddharth Kumar
Oh, never mind. He didn't die to the treadmill, then he just collapsed.
Singh, and he was only around 20 years old, too young to die from a heart attack. Although he was routinely going to this gym, most conclusions ended up that his body was not adapted to the cardio and he pushed himself too far. His death was tragic and it's important.
That can happen. Yo, this low-key is scaring me because I'm like trying to cut weight and that, so I'm doing a lot of cardio. I'm still doing a bit of weights, but I'm doing a lot of cardio just trying to cut weight. Yo, that's actually scary.
To have a gradual approach for exercising at the gym, as well as monitoring heart rate and hydration. Number 2. Imagine the most dangerous equipment in the gym that could possibly injure or kill you. You may think of
Nah, not even a bench press, because usually you don't put clips on so you can move it off, right? That can kill you. The most dangerous equipment that could kill you. I'd probably say leg press seems the most dangerous, you get me? Because when you take the hooks off, and then, you get down at a certain level, and if you can't push it back up, you can't lock it out, you have to get someone to help you. They're probably going to say bench though from this picture.
bench press, a Smith machine, or a 150-pound dumbbell, right?
A Smith machine? In what world is the Smith machine the most dangerous? That's like the safest. It's assisted and there's hooks. Yo, 2 secs.
Now, how about if I told you a treadmill? You might laugh in my face and then tell me to go to Weenie Head Juniors because of how harmful.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take a quick little break. But there's no way a Smith machine, bench press, 100. Oh, you see, name like the most safest things in the gym. I'd probably say leg press. Leg press. That's the only one I can really think of. That's like really that dangerous. Yeah.
Treadmill is. Well, that's exactly what someone thought, rightfully.
Wow, leg press, treadmill. I think them treadmills were like, the treadmills that you got to run on it to like activate the curved ones where it goes as fast as you run. I think those are way better than normal treadmills.
Before they died in Delhi, India. Saksham Pruthi was at a gym on a Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. He decided to use a treadmill at the gym for one of his workouts. He was running and doing his usual pace when all of a sudden he collapses and falls near the machine. Other people at the scene saw him collapse and tried to rescue him, but when they touched him, they felt an electrical shock. He was taken to a hospital and was pronounced.
Yo, what? He got electrocuted? What? For what? How'd you get electrocuted from running on the treadmill?
Dead from electrocution. Turns out the treadmill he was using was faulty. It had multiple complaints about giving shocks to people who used it, but the facility did nothing about it. After the
Damn.
incident, the gym was closed and the owner was arrested due to the negligence of the equipment. I'm glad this gym was closed so nobody else could get killed from a faulty treadmill,
What?
but it's unfortunate because he died at 24 years old. Number 3. On a Tuesday afternoon, a young woman decides to work out at the gym with her boyfriend. The gym that they're in has 3 floors, and the boyfriend wants to do an exercise on a different floor than her. She wants to run on a treadmill on the 3rd floor, so they part ways to do their own exercises. She's making great progress while running, so she wipes her face with a towel and gets off the treadmill, but she loses her balance and finds herself on a ledge of an open window. She tries to grab
Yo, why is the window just open like that? Why is there just like a wham window that's just open like, oh my god, yo, how did this like pass on the health and safety, just having
onto anything she can, but
R.I.P.,
fails
man.
and falls 3 stories onto her head. She was rushed to the hospital and doctors did the best they could, but were unable to save her life. The window behind the treadmill she was using was 2 feet away and was not supposed to be open. There was actually a sticker that stated not to open the windows, but it had been reportedly damaged. This incident could have been prevented if the gym had not been negligent of making an openable window 2 feet away from a treadmill that could easily be walked out of.
Why not
Number
just-
4. It's July 15th.
just put the treadmill somewhere else. Oh my god.
15th at the Paradise Gym in Bali, where a man is going to perform squat presses with a 450-pound barbell. This man is an Indonesian bodybuilder that has an Instagram
Yo, I was gonna say this guy has to be a beast to do that.
following of 35,000 people. He's also a fitness trainer at the gym he is working out in, so he's not an amateur when it comes to working out correctly. He's ready to do a rep for the 450-pound squat press and has a spotter with him just in case he trains to fail.
You know what? I wasn't even paying attention like that. I thought he was talking about deadlift. Oh my god, 400. Oh my god, this guy's a beast.
Failure. He squats the weight and starts standing up, but can't. It's too heavy. The spotter tries to help lift it up, but can't bring the weight up for the lifter to stand. He squats back down and falls onto his butt, and all the weight rolls onto the back of his neck, resulting in his neck snapping. He's rushed to medical attention and they perform an emergency operation, but unfortunately, it's
Yo, this guy's spotter literally killed him. Oh my god. Oh my god, this guy's spotter literally killed. Oh my god. Bro, he might as well just have had no spotter at that point.
not enough to save his life. Justin Vicky died at 33 years old from a broken neck that fatally compressed his vital nerves connecting his heart and lungs. For the amount of weight that Justin was squatting, it is recommended to have at least 3 spotters to safely lift from the lifter, or to have safety bars to prevent the bar from lowering
Yeah, word. Why did he not have safety bars?
all the way to the ground. Number 5. A man in Iowa in the United States of America is bench pressing at the gym. His name is Kyle Thompson and is a 22-year-old senior studying at Iowa State University. He has a spotter with him while doing his bench press routine. He puts 315 pounds on the barbell and starts his rep, but the bar suddenly slips from his hands and falls right on his neck. The spotter gets the weight off of him and checks if he's alright. Staff from the gym give him CPR up until first respondents arrive at the scene. He was transported to Iowa
Ooh, he drops it just like that. Nah.
Methodist Medical Center where Kyle died from major internal injuries due to the trauma on his neck. I wasn't able to find more information on how exactly the bar slipped from Kyle's hands. However, I could presume that he was using the suicide grip.
Oh my god, I was about to say that. He was probably using a death grip. You know when they get the grip and instead of holding like a barbell like that, they hold it like that, bro. And they hold it, they have their thumb above instead of like hucking around and holding it. That's the dumbest thing to be doing. Why do people actually do that? Look, I would never use a death grip.
This is where your fingers are wrapped around the bar without the thumb underneath. This makes it possible for the weight to slip onto the person, so it may have been the cause for the bar to slip. Number 6. Mohammed Faraj is a 21-year-old man at a university gym in England using a Smith machine. This machine makes it so the bar has a predetermined path that slides vertically and has a barbell that if it is twisted, the bar will catch itself. He begins to use the machine for his exercise routine, and all is normal. When people at the gym hear a loud crash by the machine, it turns out that Mohammed lost control and had somehow injured his head. 2 people at the gym ran over to his body to give him
R.I.P. man. On the Smith machine. I really thought that was like safe.
CPR. Emergency services arrive shortly after 7 p.m., where they do their best to try and resuscitate Muhammad, but it isn't enough. He was pronounced dead at the gym on October 16th, 2024. No official source says exactly how the bar ended up falling onto his head. If I were to guess, however, it would be he thought he twisted the bar on the hook and let go prematurely, leading it to fall on his head. Honestly, I would just avoid using this machine altogether. Not only is it an artificial path for your bar to travel, if the weight is too heavy and you
I hear that. You know what? On a normal, you know what? That makes sense actually. I take back what I was saying. Smith machine is not the safest. I feel like it's the safest for maybe if you're trying to like squat or something like that. But if you're trying to bench, but I don't really use Smith. I've only ever used Smith for squats. But yeah, that's just keep pressure off my spine. You get me? Yeah, but if you really deep it, if you're benching. Normally, if you don't have clips on, you can just tilt the weight, you can't do that on a Smith machine.
have no spotter, you can't roll off of it or unbalance the bar to one side and get it off of it. Number 7. In Wuhan, China, a 27-year-old
You see how he just comes up.
man is bench pressing at a public
Like, cut himself off,
gym. His name is Xiao Hu and is accustomed to working out by himself. He decides to load up 220 pounds on a barbell to train his chest and takes out his phone to record himself. He puts on a weightlifting belt and is ready to bench press. He lifts the barbell.
Why is... Why is there a weightlifting belt? Why is he putting a weightlifting belt on bench press? Am I being dumb right now? Like low key. Nah, bro. Nah, I might be just being stupid.
And lowers the weight onto his chest and begins to push it up, but his arms begin shaking. It's too heavy. The weight begins to slowly lower back to his chest, then slips onto his neck, pinning him to the bench. He's making desperate efforts to lift the weight and place it back on the rack, but to no avail. He tries to unbuckle his weightlifting belt, but he can't, and with his deteriorating strength, lifts his
Huh? What's that say?
buckle his weightlifting belt, but he can't.
Oh, is his weightlifting belt attached to the bench? Oh my god, no.
And with his deteriorating strength, lifts his legs to move the bar up, but it's not moving. He's knocked unconscious from asphyxiation and no one notices Xiao up until 2.5 minutes later. 2 gym employees rush over and take the barbell off of him. Seeing his lifeless state, they take him to the hospital where he is later determined as deceased. Number 8. A 40
What are gym employees doing, man? This is their job.
42-year-old woman is at a gym with her daughter in Mexico City. She's using a Smith machine, the same kind of machine that took Muhammad's life. However, the exercise she is performing is different, a squat press instead of a bench press with the barbell. She has a bench seat underneath her while she is about to perform a squat. She decides to squat 400 pounds on the Smith machine. A man helps rack the weights on for her, and the daughter stands by and watches her mother about to squat the weight. She lifts the bar and twists it, letting the entire load onto her shoulders. The moment she bends her knees, she immediately falls with the weight onto the
No,
bench
that's not
below.
funny. Oh my god, that's not funny. That's genuinely not funny. Yo, I wasn't laughing at what happened to her. That animation is just so fucking stupid. Oh my god, that animation is so stupid. Her character goes from standing to just completely flat. I promise I'm not laughing at what happened to her.
Where the entire 400 pounds lands on her neck. The man and daughter immediately are shocked and try to remove the weight but fail, up until 2 other people help take the weight off of her. She is flipped on her side where she is found unalived. Number
Not in front of the kid too. Oh. Yo, R.I.P. to the mom, and my condolences go out to the kid.
9. August 25th, 2012, at a powerlifting gym, there was a 34-year-old man named Igor Galushkin. He was a very fit and strong individual who competed in powerlifting from Russia. A powerlifting competition consists of 3
I was gonna say that the name sounds Russian.
core lifts: squat, deadlift, and bench press, where the winner is the one who can lift the most amount of weight summed up from the 3 categories. In this case, Igor was bench pressing 400 pounds for his competition to win. However, when he almost successfully lifted the barbell, his hands suddenly slipped off the bar, and the weight fell onto
Death grip. Death grip. I'm calling now death grip. Why do people use death grip? Unless it's done like dislocated or something, it was a death grip. Listen, anyone watching, if you're gonna go to the gym and you're gonna bench, don't hold the bar like this. Hold it like that, because then you don't chop the part on your neck.
his chest. The spotters were stunned and immediately took the weight off of him. Igor drank water and covered his face with his
it's
hands,
cool.
having felt such terrible pain. He felt his condition getting worse from his chest area and was soon taken to the hospital. It had turned out that he had ripped his diaphragm and crushed his ribs from the 400-pound barbell. Medics did the best they could, however, Igor later died from a cardiac concussion at the hospital. Now, all these deaths are unfortunate and tragic. However, they can teach how to minimize risk of injury or death. Also, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, it's on my online shop, JustJam.
I can't lie, apart from the one that, you know, he just passed out, like, I get he pushed himself, but you know, we all push ourselves when we're at the gym. I mean, I hope we all do, but apart from that one where he's just running and then he just passed out randomly, or when the woman just fell out backwards out the window, apart from them, I feel like, you know, proper precautions could have saved a lot of lives in this video, you know. You know, you always go to the gym because you want to improve yourself, but make sure you're doing it with proper technique, proper form, and you're doing it in a safe manner. You know, don't go through PRs on your own. You know, don't if you need multiple spots, to have multiple spots. It's better to want and need. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. You get me? But anyways, yo, that's been a W video from, who's this? Just Jams, this W video. Anyways, I hope you might have enjoyed this reaction. Foza, peace out.